Something that really surprised me from the Color of Law video was that I always kind of knew about like the residential segregation, but I guess I never realized the severity of it because I guess the thing that most surprised me about it was the scenario when the one white family bought a house and resold it to the African American family he was a Navy veteran and it surprised me because I didn't realize that like the people that kind of rioted and like basically destroyed his house um, was allowed to get away with that. And the police basically just turned a blind eye to it. And then the crazy thing was the person that the white family that sold the house to them, they got arrested and charged with um, uh, sedition for like selling the house to them for 15 years, and they had to serve for literally just selling a house to another family, which is just crazy to me to think about. Um, so I did know a little bit about the history, but not, like I said, to the full extent of how bad it was. Um, and I thought it was kind of crazy too, like when the industrial businesses and like places of work, when they left the city, it left all those people without jobs, without income, and basically left them defenseless. And having an opportunity to really be successful in their area kind of left them without that opportunity. As far as my own community, I know that in town is cheaper to live. There's more apartments. Those are typically your cheaper places to live. And more of the like country outskirts of town are like the more expensive houses, or I think the subdivisions. We don't have very many because I come from a really small town, but the subdivisions that we do have are really expensive too. So that's another thing. But the only other thing about buying a house in town is like they get you on the water bills and just city, I guess considered city taxes, but we're a township, so um, so um, I guess we're not really a very integrated or like we don't have very much diversity in our community. Um, Really, we have mostly just white people, and there's a few like Mexican people families, but like they're like kind of working on like the farms and stuff like that. That was a big reason of why they came to our town. Um, but I mean, really, we don't have too much diversity. There's very few African American families, so um, and really no other. We have really no other races of people that live in our town, which is kind of sad. Um, I guess as far as what it would look like if our community required fair share, middle class, minority, and low income, moderate income housing, I'm not really sure what that would look like. Um, so I don't really know how to answer that one. Is there anything missing from the color law that you might modify its argument? Again, not really sure how to answer that question. There's not really anything I can think of currently that would modify it. If your community is racially segregated, has it resulted in fewer interracial friendships? I guess so. I mean, I, we guess with the Mexican families that we have, I don't think we're really segregated. Like we're all inclusive and stuff like that. But um, I mean, like I said, there's not enough diversity to really have any kind of segregation. So I'm not really sure. I mean, I guess I don't know if it's segregated because like there's not too many people living in our area that maybe people don't feel welcome to come live in our town. I don't know. Not really sure. Um, the consequences of missing out on cross racial friendships is obviously we don't get to experience that diversity and see what that would look like in our community and learn more about like their like backgrounds and stuff like that. Um, what would what is one thing you would like to know about your community or home and how you came to live there. I guess I'd like to know more about the history because I do not know much about the history. We moved to Stockbridge when that's my hometown. We moved there when I was about 5 years old, so I don't really know much about it, and we really don't talk about our history too much in school either. So that's one thing I'd like to know more about. Um, how I came to live there was because we moved from Heartland to Stockbridge, Michigan, because it was just closer to my dad's work and it was just convenient to move there. Um, as far as the Chief Justice Roberts getting his facts wrong, I don't really remember what was said about that, so I can't really say much about that. Um, and as far as who else has gotten things wrong, I mean, people get stuff wrong all the time. So, I mean, any kind of political figure or non political figure could get anything wrong or facts wrong. So, I mean, it's good to know your facts, though, because that's important as a political leader. But I don't know, I'm not really sure about that one. And I don't really have any unanswered questions at the moment. So, I'm not really sure. I can't really answer that one. So, that's really all I have on um, the video that we watched. So, yeah.